Hello friends, welcome to Dipta's Patsala. Today we will discuss about microorganisms, friend and foe. After completion of this chapter, you can define microorganisms, you can divide them into different types and also you can describe how they are harmful or useful for us. So let's get started. In our surrounding, there are different kinds of organisms. Some are very small and some are very big in their size, but can you ever imagine there are such kind of organisms which you cannot see in your naked eye? Yes, you have to see them through a microscope. So those organisms which are only visible through a microscope are known as microorganisms or microbes. Okay, so where can we find microbes? So microbes can be found in soil, they may be found in water, in polar region, in desert, in hot water spring, inside human or animal, on any other animal body, or they can stay inside volcanoes also. So from this you can notice that they can cope with any extreme condition, climatic condition, any extreme temperature or cold condition, they can stay. So what are the different types of microorganisms? Microorganisms are basically divided into 5 types. They are bacteria, protozoa, algae, fungi and virus. So let's discuss about them one by one. First comes bacteria. Bacteria are unicellular, means they are having a single cell and they are prokaryotic organisms, means in their cell there is no well developed cell organelles. They may be found freely or they may form colonies and they are of different shapes. So what are the different shapes of bacteria? They may be spherical or called as cocosform. Here in the picture you can see it's a monococcus bacteria. They may be rod shaped, that is called as bacillus form. Here you can see bacillus, lactobacillus for example. So spiral, for example spirillum or spirochete, and vibrio means comma shaped. Here you can see comma shaped bacteria. The bacteria, they can cause different kinds of diseases. For example, tuberculosis, cholera are caused by bacteria. Next comes protozoa, or singular is known as protozoans. Okay, they are also single celled, means unicellular, but they are eukaryotic organisms. So what is eukaryotic? Eukaryotic means they are having well developed cell organelles and they may found freely, they are free living, but they are parasitic, means they get their food from the host body. So here you can see this is one amoeba, which is the example of one protozoan. This is another one, this is called as paramecium. The shape of paramecium is just like your sandal, and these organisms, they also cause different kinds of diseases, for example dysentery and malaria. Next comes algae. These are photosynthetic in nature. Okay, it means they are having chlorophyll pigment. So most of them are green in color and they are mostly aquatic in nature. They may be single cellular or they may be multicellular. Here in the picture you can see this is a pond and you can see the greenish structure. These are the algae. So here one example, this is commonly found in the ponds. This one a filamentous algae, that is known as Spirogyra. This is another algae, this is called as Chlamydomonas. So next comes fungi, or singular is fungus. So these are the plant like organisms, but they don't have any chlorophyll, so they cannot prepare their own food. That's why they may be parasitic or saprophytic, means they can stay inside the host body or they can get their food from the dead and decomposed body parts of plants and animals. They may be single celled or they may be multicellular, but they are eukaryotic. Here in the picture you can see this is the cottony structure. You can see this is a rotten bread. Okay, this is affected by fungus. White or blackish cotton like thread like structures you can see. If you will magnify, you can see these kind of structure. This is the common bread mold known as rhizopus. Okay, so most of the fungus, they destroy our food. Here in this picture you can see these are the mushroom. Some of the mushrooms are edible. Another one, this is known as penicillium, just looks like the broom structure, a broom. Okay, and this one is aspergillus. Okay, so they generally destroy our food. Next comes the virus. So these are the infectious agent and very small size. They are even smaller than any known cell. Okay, they can be seen only through the microscope and they are parasitic in nature. Means they depend on the host body and they can reproduce only in the host body, and most of the scientists consider it as the transitional link between living and non-living because they can only be active inside the host body. Okay, so these are the different types of microorganisms, mainly 5 types. So most of them are very harmful. Virus, they can cause influenza, measles, flu, so many diseases they can cause. But it doesn't mean that microorganisms are always harmful for us. There are some microorganisms which are also helpful for us. So let's discuss about the friendly microbes. So we can use the microorganisms in food and beverage industry. We can use them for preparing medicines and vaccines. We can utilize them for increasing the soil fertility, and also they are helpful for cleaning the environment. So let's discuss. So how they are helpful in food and beverage industry. So lactobacillus converts milk into curd. Okay, if you will add some of the curd in milk, then next day you will see the whole milk will convert into curd. Okay, the lactobacillus, which is a rod cell bacteria, it converts milk into curd. Then yeast, it is a fungus. It is used in the baking industry for making breads, pastries and cake. Here in the picture you see this is the dough of whole purpose flour, all purpose flour or maida, and it is mixed with some of the yeast. Okay, so when we will mix yeast in that dough, after 1 or 2 hours you will see that this volume will increase. It will become very soft and fluffy. Why? Because the yeast cell, they grow rapidly, they reproduce rapidly, and due to their respiration carbon dioxide is released, and that carbon dioxide tries to escape out of the dough. That's why it puffs up the dough and it becomes more and more soft. That is the reason yeast is widely used for making breads, pastries and cakes. So aspergillus, which is a fungus, and acetobacter, again lactobacillus, which are the bacteria, they are utilized for preparation of different kinds of organic acids. For example, acetic acid or vinegar. Okay, so yeast are also used for preparing beverages like beer, brandy, wine and whiskey, and the process is called as fermentation. Okay, if you will take a little bit of water in a glass, add some sugar and yeast, after 1 hour you try to smell that liquid, and that smell is of alcohol. So the process of conversion of sugar into alcohol is known as fermentation. So that's why yeast are utilized. By the process of fermentation we can prepare alcohol or wine from different kinds of cereals, for example from rice, wheat, barley, by the process of fermentation. Next comes the medicinal use of different microbes. So bacteria and fungi are used in preparing antibiotics. For example, streptomycin, tetracycline and erythromycin. So what are antibiotics? Antibiotics are the medicines, okay, which can kill or stop the growth of disease causing microbes. When we fall sick and we go to a doctor, doctor sometimes gives us antibiotics so that we can get control over that disease. But make sure without doctor's consultation you should not eat any antibiotics because they may kill the good microbes inside your body. And nowadays antibiotics are also used for animals and plants. They are also mixed in animal feed or poultry to check the microbial infection in them. Okay, so microbes are also used to make vaccines. So what are vaccines? So vaccines are the substances that stimulate the production of antibodies in our body. Okay, it provide immunity against one or more diseases. So these vaccines, they are generally prepared from dead or weak microbes. When they are injected in a healthy person's body, they they stimulate the immune system of our body to create antibodies. But as they are very weak or they are dead, they cannot do any harm. But in our body already the antibodies will be prepared. So when actually the disease causing microbes or the pathogens will attack the body, they cannot do any harm, as we are having the acquired immunity. So they can be given as injections or by drops. For example, pulse polio is given as drops. Some of the vaccines examples are polio vaccine, MMR, chickenpox, hepatitis. If we will take the vaccine or we will do the vaccination in time, vaccination means administration of vaccine. Okay, so if vaccination will be done, then we can avoid certain kind of diseases. Okay, next comes how they increase the soil fertility. Some of the bacteria, for example rhizobium, generally the rhizobium, they stay in the root nodules of leguminous plants. And some of the blue green algae, for example nostoc, anabena, oscillatoria, they trap the atmospheric nitrogen and fix it in the soil so that they can increase the soil fertility, and this process is known as nitrogen fixation. And some of the saprophytic microbes, they decompose the plant and animal wastes and make manure in the soil, so that they also help in increasing soil fertility. Then next comes how they are helpful for cleaning the environment. Some of the saprophytic bacteria, saprophytic microbes, they decompose the organic parts of plants and animals and clean the environment. Okay, they are helpful in the process of recycling, as they are making it usable by the plants. When they decompose the different dead bodies of plants and animals, they again make it reusable by the plants. Okay, and they also decompose the sewage. Sometimes you might have noticed, when you throw some garbage or vegetable peel in some places, after some days you will never see them. Okay, so it will be decomposed by the microbes and it will be get mixed in the soil. Okay, so this is all about today's session. Let's have a quick revision. Microorganisms, organisms that can be visible only through a microscope, are called as microorganism, and they can be found in soil, water, air, desert, inside animal or plant bodies, and they may be unicellular, they may be multicellular. For example, there are different types of microbes: bacteria, protozoa, algae, fungi, and virus. Then comes virus are different from any other microbes, as they can only reproduce inside the host body. Some microbes are useful in preparation of food and beverages, in preparation of medicines, and some help us in increasing the soil fertility, and they also help in cleaning the environment. Hope you enjoyed the video, and if you are having any doubt, please write it in the comment section, and please do like, subscribe and share. Thank you.